Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. This is the LiveLike Business Showcase. My name is Patricia Cardinal, and I am the CEO and founder of LiveLike. And I want to welcome you to the show on tonight. I have been having such a great and glorious time with these business showcases because I've had the opportunity to meet a few people I've never met before. It's always awesome to hear an individual's backstory, like how did they get into business? What made them decide that they wanted to be in business, right? What are some of the challenges that they've had in business? And, where do they see their business growing to? And so this business showcase is designed to bring some highlight, right, to those individuals that are doing great things in the community, doing great things for the Lord. And again, for me, I love business, and I love to hear about what other individuals are doing in business. Those that are stepping out on faith, those that are believing God for great, and awesome things, those that have said, hey, I'm not going to let fear hold me back. I'm going to step out and I'm going to do those things, that I have set in my mind and my heart to do. And I tell you, it's an awesome, awesome thing to be able to see. I know with me being an entrepreneur, there have been several, instances and times when, man, I've had some major, major hurdles to overcome. But I didn't give up, right? I didn't give up. I didn't lose faith. I kept it pushing, even when it looked like I didn't know where I was going. I couldn't see where I was going, right? And so that's what's so awesome about this business showcase is I really, really am going to have an awesome time just listening to individuals and share with you all their stories. And I hope that you are inspired as well. So I do have a wonderful guest on tonight. It's Women's History Month, and I've been focusing a lot on women's history, but I promise I'm going to get to the brothers, right? Get some testosterone up in here, right? And so the next couple of weeks, I will have a couple of gentlemen, man, that are awesome, that are dynamic. You're going to want to hear their stories. And I'm just excited, right, about those stories as well. So without further ado, I would love to introduce to you guys this awesome, awesome woman of God. She, man, is just so gifted in so many areas. And when I find people that are gifted like that, it just really, really, really inspires me, and it warms my heart, right? Because a lot of times, people just sit on their gifts and they don't do anything with them, right? But I believe that our gifts are for the world. Our gifts are to share. They were given to us by the Lord, right? And we are to share them with the world. It's a way of showing and sharing God's love in the world when we're operating in the gifts that we are giving. So without further ado, I have Evangelist Sarafia Hall that is here in the studio. I'm watching her beautiful face right now, and I'm going to go ahead and bring her onto the show and allow her to introduce herself to you guys.
Can you see me?
I can see you.
Hey!
How are you?
I'm excited. I'm awesome. So glad to be here with you.
I am so excited. I love you. I love your do. I love that. That is awesome.
Thank you so much. Wow.
So what I would like to do is, again, I have introduced you by name, right? But I would love for you to take this opportunity to introduce yourself to my audience. Give us a little bit, just a little blip about yourself.
Okay, all right. That's a little bit. All right. Well, hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here with Miss Patricia. I am Sarafia Hall. And oh my God, as she said, I'm a mover and a shaker. Yes, I am a mover and a shaker, a woman of many gifts. And I just enjoy using the gifts that God has given me. What can I say? I'm an author, a publisher, motivational speaker. I'm a woman of God more than anything. I'm a woman of God, evangelist, wife, and a mother. And so in a plethora of other things, but more than anything, I'm just excited. I'm a joyful person and just ready for this interview because I know it's going to be fire, fire, fire.
Fire, fire, fire. Yes, yes. Awesome. Man, so many giftings. That's just amazing. And what I'd like to do is, because a lot of times, some of these giftings, of course, are just given to us. And then there's some giftings we don't know we have. They are kind of wrought in fire, right? We discover these gifts, right? As we go along. Some things we just are born with, right? We're born with, we know about it, and that's just kind of how it is. But what I'd like for you to do is, because everybody has a story, everybody has a backstory, and I love to hear an individual's backstory. So why don't you just share with us a little bit about you, whatever you want to share, right? I'm going to leave that up to you, but something that would inspire those that are listening.
All right, I can do that. Well, a little bit about me and my story of how I got into entrepreneurship. I can say being born into poverty, struggling in poverty, lack, not having, literally pillar to post, being homeless, being jobless, not being able to pay my bills, not being able to pay my rent, not being able to pay a car note, and that was my part, and just knowing poverty through my family. And so the beginning of this year, I wrote a book called I wrote a book called Eradicating the Spirit of Poverty in the Families. And the reason I wrote this book is because this is my year to eradicate poverty. And I know that the Lord spoke to me last year that my 40-year wilderness journey was over. And so I've done businesses before, but I just jumped, I leaped because I'm like, I know this is not my final destination. And so I didn't really know a lot about business. Ninth grade education, I dropped out of school in ninth grade. I was a teen mother, and I tried college, and I went, I kept changing majors, and college wasn't for me. I always try to tell people, they pressure us, go to college, get married, have children, go to college. But I can honestly say college is not for everyone. And me being a creative person, I was bored easily, just sitting there. And I was that person like, okay, well, what am I going to do with this? Like, what, why are you teaching this to me, and how can I use this? And so if you couldn't really tell me how I'm going to use it, it's like, okay, well, why am I taking it? You're wasting my time. And so I can say in this last 10 years, I really started jumping into my identity and knowing who I am. I am a worship dancer. So I've been ministering in dance for 20 years. And at 37, I went to school for dance. So I do dance ministry, dance classes, and I teach. So that's a part of ministry and entrepreneurship. And so for me, it is my charge is to break cycles. I know I'm charged to my family to break the generational cycle of poverty. So when people see me and it's like, okay, gosh, oh my gosh, she's doing that and she's doing this. My thing is, I don't want to bury no gift that God has given me. If he gave me one, I want to work it. He gave me two, I want to work it. And so I do believe in this season, God is teaching me how to truly cultivate one and then move into the other. And the gifts that God has given me and the talents, they really complement each other. And like I heard somebody say, they really kiss each other. I'm just learning how to help it to flow to where it connects, and then where there's residual income, because I don't want just income from me. I am a kingdom builder, so I want to be able to do things in the community. I love going and serving for the elders, the elderly in the nursing home, the prison ministry, and the homeless, and those that's homeless, as well as domestic violence. So I just want to be able to not just give the word, but how tangible things to give, where my house is blessed, and then I can bless somebody else's house. So that's kind of who I am, and kind of where this entrepreneurship was birthed from, eradicating the spirit of poverty.
Yes. And man, so many nuggets, and there's so many nuggets. One of the things that I appreciate about you is that you are creative. And it took me a lot of years to realize that I was a creative, right? Because I grew up in an environment, my mother was a nurse, so everything was about science and everything. And I tried the nursing thing. It just was not for me. But you know what? I loved music. I played musical instruments in school, and I wanted to go to school for music, and I was basically, people were telling me, don't go to school for music. How are you going to earn a living that way? Yada, yada, yada. And so it took me a lot of years to realize that I was really, I think, truncated myself in that whole a lot of left brain activities, but without allowing the right brain activities to kind of begin to come forth. And so I think it's so awesome that you embraced the fact that you were a creative very early on. I think that's awesome, because those are the things that are important, that we know who we are. Right. And man, I think that's incredible. Like, I wish I could have tapped into mine a little sooner.
Right. And I was just that, I don't know, I couldn't get away from it. Like, I learned to braid hair, like literally at 8, watching my mom braid our hair. Then I learned, like, at 13, how to put the hair extensions in your head, because I'm a seer, but also if I can do it, I can watch you do it. And, some things I didn't tap into fully until, let me take that back. When you're breaking a cycle of poverty, that taps you into your creative juices. Because if you can't put food on your table, it's almost like this COVID that just happened. Many people lost their jobs that they had for 20 years, 25 years, and they were laid off. But there was creativity on the inside of them that they couldn't tap into, because they had a paycheck every week. They knew how they was going to pay their bills. They knew how they was going to pay their mortgage. But when their money ran out, guess what happened? They tapped into their creative juices and realized, oh my God, I like this. And not only do I like it, the finances is coming in. So for me, I was breaking cycles. It was like, I don't know how to do this, but I'm going to make t-shirts. I started making t-shirts back in 2008. And I used to make with the puffy paint, I used to make these, I'm from Waco, and we had the Baylor Bears, and I make the cheerleaders with the bear on it, and with the puffy paint, and I sell them for like $20. Then I go and I make flower arrangements, and, and sell the flower arrangements. So then I was making soap, and I was making candles. So I was like tapping into everything, but I didn't have the support, and I didn't have finances to continue to finance my business, and I didn't have the knowledge. I didn't know business savvy. I didn't know any of that. And when you were talking about music, let me tell you, I was so naive in a lot of areas, right? I didn't know a lot of stuff, like things that I dreamed of, I didn't know it was like right up the street. So at 37, I started dancing ministry at 23. And I tell everybody I went to Holy Ghost school. God trained.
Okay, gotcha.
Because I just love to dance. But at 37, I found out it was right up the street to go to college for dance. So at 37, I went to college for dance. And I mean, full-figured sister in a tutu. And it took a whole nother level of confidence because them babies in there hadn't had no babies. They didn't have no stretch marks. Come on.
Yeah.
And listen, they was 18, 19, and 20, but I was 37. And here's the thing. Those babies thought I was their age. God had preserved me to the point where my son took a hip hop class with me. And he came in, and one day he said, "Mama." They was like, Mama? I said, "Yeah." "How old are you?" So, yeah. So at 37, I went to school for dance.
That's awesome. And then, you also talked about because that's a lot of us. That's a lot of us, especially those that have, I'm the one that has a million business ideas. Like I can sit down with you and it's like, look, girl, look, you can look this right here. I got just sit me down. I got a million bazillion ideas. The implementation is a whole nother ball game, right? And that's the kind of thing that I don't know about you as a creative, but me as a creative, the administrative part of it pulls me down. It is just like, oh my gosh. I was talking to Michelle Black earlier today, and I was like, and I appreciate her so much because she is administrative, and for me, it's just like, oh my goodness, help me. Right. But the other thing that I really liked about what you said, and it's so important, I had to learn this along the way myself, is to, even though we have all these great and awesome ideas, learn how to hone in on an area and really kind of master that area, and then you can move on to other areas. And then with them all flowing together. So I'm learning how with these different ventures, how they are flowing together, right? So that, which we learned about that in ATS, right. So that you're not spreading yourself so thin, right. That you still have these opportunities that can kind of work together and kiss each other, right? And turn one idea into seven different streams of income, and I think that's really, really awesome about that. And then I want to really hone in on something else that you talked about, which we haven't had a chance to yet, is about breaking that poverty. How did you phrase it?
Eradicating the spirit
of poverty. So, so you talked a little bit about your background, but how, just like in your mindset, how did you begin that process? Because sometimes people are on merry-go-rounds and they don't know how to get off these they want to get off, but they don't know how to get off. So what are some kind of first steps you can give someone who is stuck in that trap, right? And they want to be free. What can you tell them to encourage them?
Yes, ma'am. So I did a 30-day teaching about, I think it was in November. And the 30-day teaching was on eradicating the spirit of poverty. And the very first thing you have to do, because it's a mind thing, it's a mental thing. It's what so a man thinketh, so is he, right? So you got to get the mind right. Once your mind is right, then the body, everything will come in alignment. And so I did a 30-day teaching, and the very first thing, I think the first 7 days, we tackled the mentality. So you got to get delivered from a poverty mentality, right? And a poverty mentality, one thing about poverty mentality, you'll spend up everything you have. And the reason you're spending it is because you're in fear of losing it. You're in fear of, when will I get it again? It's almost like a starving child or a person that's starving, and you put food in front of them, and they're just gobbling, and there's just food everywhere, but it's just because they don't know when their next meal is going to come. So poverty will bring fear. So the first thing I would say is check people, places, and things, because a lot of times those that you're connected to, they're speaking the same language as you. So you got to change people, places, and things. You got to change what you're saying to yourself.
Yeah.
Another way to get out of poverty and to know that you're in poverty. If you never have the confidence to shop in a different neighborhood that's on a higher scale than where you live. If that makes you feel uncomfortable or makes you feel not worthy to go over by, what is that mall that's here in Houston, off of Gessner? What is that mall called? I can't think of it.
You mean
Harlan? Harwin? No.
You mean Galleria?
The Galleria.
Okay.
Yeah. So if your mindset tell you can't go, because over by the Galleria, then you go down some of those streets and they got the big pretty lights and the big old pretty houses. If you can never shop at that Walmart in that area or that Target in that area, then there's something going on up here that's making you feel less than that. Oh no, I can't go over there. So you have to change your mindset. And so what I did, even in my book, there's a 21-day journal at the back. And it's a 21-day journal to eradicate stinking thinking. You got to get rid of stinking thinking. You got to reprogram what was programmed in you. And a lot of times it's our upbringing. When you watch people struggle and when they say, oh, we can't afford that. We can't afford that. And when you had to wear hand-me-downs, when you went to school, everybody else had new clothes, but you and your siblings only got one outfit and the rest of it came from Goodwill. You had to wear what else you had from last year. So those things, you got to change your mentality. Then you have to get in a place of confidence. Change people, places, and things. That's going to help you build your confidence. Because if you're around the same low-minded people, then guess what's going to happen? You're going to stay there. So you got to step out and move. You say, move over bacon. I'm going to something media. That commercial back in the day. You got to go over here.
Yes.
You got to step. So that is what I would say to somebody. Deal with your mindset and check fear and check your confidence level. What is your confidence level about you?
I'm telling you, that is, man, I hope you guys are watching. I thank you guys. I see some individuals that are tuning in. I hope you are sharing this because, man, so many people are in a poverty mindset. And it's the one thing about a poverty mindset, it doesn't just operate in finances.
Come on.
It takes over your whole way of thinking and your entire life. It's like an octopus that has an arm over here and an arm over here and an arm over here and an arm over here. And it goes into all these different areas of your life that you don't even realize are being impacted by that mindset.
Right. You're so right. People don't think about what you eat. What you eat. That poverty destroys. Poverty is lack, right? So what you put in your body can bring about sickness, disease, obesity. So I always tell people wealth is health.
Yeah.
So you don't want your body, you want your body to be in alignment. There's no way. So a person with money, most of the time, they got it going on in the body. Most of the time. But if their mindset is just about the money and how they look and they never take care of this temple, then their body is dealing with poverty.
Yeah.
It's dealing with sickness. It's not producing. What is poverty? It's not producing. So if your body is sick and you're overweight and you can't breathe, it's a lot of things you cannot do. It's not producing. So there's lack, right? You have to produce. When we have finances, we're able to produce. We're able to build. When we eat right, we're able to produce. We're able to be strong. Our body, our digestive system will work properly. Our respiratory system will work properly. Our skeletal system. So everything will function and work together when we have when we walk with health in our body, when our body is healthy. So I tell anybody, health is wealth. What are you feeding yourself? Are you feeding yourself to death?
Yes.
Or are you feeding yourself to life? Are you feeding yourself into poverty? Or are you feeding yourself into prosperity?
Prosperity. And it affects, now I know me, if I'm not eating right, it affects my thinking.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. It definitely affects my sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And it affects my thinking.
Yes,
when I'm eating cleaner, I think better. I do. It actually is like, it's if it's good for our bodies, it's good for our brains as well.
Exactly.
And so I'm able to, so man, this is an awesome conversation. And it would be great. I have to get you back on again so you can talk about your lifestyle, because I think that's a great topic to be able to have. A lot of times we don't know how to make that transition. Like me, I go back and forth, honestly. I go back and forth sometimes. I'll be going and bumping along real good, and then I hit a snag and I'm not eating right. But let me tell you the good thing that I learned. And I didn't learn this until I did make the effort to start eating cleaner. When I made the effort to start eating cleaner, and whenever I go back to eating the old way again, my body knows the difference.
Exactly.
Because you see, I ate bad for so long that my body did not know how to act.
Right.
Then I started eating cleaner and healthier, right? It was just a whole different deal. And then I switched up on it, and my body is like, what are you doing?
Right.
Because if my body was rejecting things, it'll start rejecting it. And it's like, oh my goodness.
Exactly. That makes sense.
Yeah, that's a whole nother show.
Yes, ma'am.
That's a whole nother show.
Right, a whole nother show.
That's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about the different, because you have several businesses, right? And you have different types, several things that you like to offer. I'm actually going to pull up here on the screen with us one of your logos here. Let me see, where is it? Application, Chrome tab. Where did it go? It must have closed out. But in any event, I'll look for it and I'll try to pull it up.
Okay.
So I would like to, if you would like to go ahead and talk a little bit about your various businesses and the products you have to offer.
Awesome. Okay, I can do that. First of all, I have a talk show. So it's Status Changers Wellness TV broadcast. And I've been on all month celebrating women, just like my sister has been on here celebrating women this month. It is a video streaming network, and it is Status Changers Wellness TV broadcast. And you can also check that out on my Facebook page. I also use StreamYard. My other business that I recently birthed out is called Perfect For Me Designs. And so that business, it's basically geared towards, things that are perfect for you, that are pretty for you, things such as hair bonnets. So I sew hair bonnets for babies and teens and mothers, and also mommy and me. We're adding to that tutus, and I do have t-shirts as well, for t-shirts for babies and t-shirts for women and men. And then I also have several books that I've placed on there. The one I spoke about earlier, Eradicating the Spirit of Poverty in Families. And then I have a dance book. As I was sharing with you, I've been ministering dance for over 20 years. My first book was Spirit and Flesh Dancing Together as One. So that is my first book. It is like a training and teaching manual. And this month, I am a part of an anthology with Tia Monique, Let It Out Academy. And this book is titled Women Hold and Heal, Testaments of Survivors. It's a total of 3 volumes. I'm in volume 2, and it will be, matter of fact, I think I may have that book next week. And I did do pre-sale orders for that. And then I have my latest book coming out, Loud but Silent Pain, The Life of Endometriosis. I am a survivor of 36 years of endometriosis. So that book also will be available. Lastly, or really not lastly, but I have Sarafia's Anointed Creations. That one's been around for about 8 years, where I sew worship flags, prayer shawls. I have anointing oil and worship streamers on that site. And I sew a few garments, not a lot, but your basic overlay garments. And here recently, I just graduated. I am a certified Christian counselor. So that is something, yes, I graduated on Sunday. And that right there is dear to my heart, because I believe, especially in this time and season of everybody going through this pandemic, many need that counsel. As we know, many have, there's been a lot of abuse, a lot of domestic violence, a lot of murders, a lot of suicides. And so a lot of people panicky and fearful, and so I truly believe in counsel. And so I'm just right now praying to see what group that the Lord will allow me to minister to, because I'm not called to the whole world, and I'm not trying to take on the whole world. I'm not God. So whichever group of individuals that he would have me to counsel. So I'm just waiting, and then so that will be another part that shall happen on this year, moving into counsel. So
awesome. I put up your logo here for your Status Changes Wellness TV network. How did that come about?
Wow. So remember earlier I was telling you that I did a 30-day teaching on eradicating the spirit of poverty in families. And so I did that, and the reason I did the 30 days, it was a challenge by Mr. Antonio T. Smith Jr. He challenged many of us to go live for 30 days. And it was definitely a challenge in the beginning. I ended up getting sick. I was like sick for like 6 or 7 days, but I kept going. And I had Dr. Sugar Trask she was cheering me on. She'd say, you can't stop. You can't stop. Get your rest and then go on. You can't stop. Get your rest and go on. So my the recordings of the lives were at, I think, 9 or 9:30 at night. So I would literally medicate myself and I like to use natural things. So I'm in here doing everything I need to do, and I'm sweating it out. And then about like 8:45, I go put on my makeup. Like, okay, all right, how world, good evening, everybody. And then I would get back in the bed and wait till the next evening. But what happened was, after I finished, Dr. Trask, she was already doing her broadcasting. And so she was like, you ready now? I'm like, ready for what? So she shared with me about the broadcasting, something I've always wanted to do. But years ago, I did not have the confidence to do so, because a lot of people would correct me how I pronounce words, because I didn't pronounce some words correctly, But so the Status Changes Wellness Broadcast Network, it was birthed January 1. And what it is about, our motto or whatever it is, implementing wellness in every area of your life. And so my thing is, if you need wellness in your finances, you need wellness spiritually, emotionally, educationally, whatever that is, and whatever I think is happening in the earth realm or in the spirit realm, that's what we're going to cover. And to me, it is a channel of resources, a channel of testimonies, and a channel to help those who've been on the back to be pushed to the front, because I was that person that was rejected and thrown to the side. And so my channel, I can say I'm called to the rejects. I want the rejects because they got something to say. They got testimony, and they have overcome. And so, and they are status changers. Matter of fact, my shirt, I made this shirt and I hadn't worn it. It's so my first time wearing it. It says, status changer was poverty, now prosperity. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Absolutely.
Poverty, but now I'm prosperity.
Come on now. My God. Yes. Oh my God. That is powerful. That means that you've overcome. Yeah. And sadly enough, there are a lot of people that just, they don't get to that point.
Right.
They don't realize that they have it in them already.
Right.
And that's really the key, that we have it within us already. We just haven't tapped into it. Mm-hmm. We don't realize it. Mm-hmm. So I had pulled up your website for others to see and everything. And of course, in the notes, those of you that would like to connect with Evangelist Sarafia Hall, please, I have her website here, which is www.perfect4medesigns.online. She can also be reached at sarafia@statuschangers.org. And I have to tell you guys, now I ordered some bonnets. So I have my bonnets. I have 2 for my grandbaby. They are adorable. Okay. Yeah. Those bonnets are adorable. And I have 1 for my daughter. And I'm really happy for that one because it's bigger, because she has a lot of hair. Mm-hmm. And so that bonnet is perfect for her. And you guys, I have to tell you, I should have brought one over here so I could show you. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. But let me tell you, they are handmade. They are very well made. They're very well crafted. And you can see the difference.
Let me grab one. Hold on.
Okay. You guys, these bonnets are really, really nice. It's nothing like really what you'll get in the store, because they're crafted much better because they're handmade. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes this stuff that that they make, it's okay, but when you can get something that's handcrafted, with great quality, great feeling fabrics. I'm a stickler about that. I don't like stuff on me that's rough or hard. It feels funny, and they just feel great.
Okay, I got some. So
okay.
This is a cheetah one. It's cheetah on the outside and green on the inside. Y'all know my color is green. That's my color. Let's see. Then we got polka dot.
Polka dots.
Yeah, this is for a little person.
Yes.
And then we have the name.
Minnie Mouse. That's like Minnie Mouse.
Yes. And this is the names of God.
Okay. Oh. You guys, I'm telling you, these are some excellent gifts.
And I do put words on them So this is my color, y'all. Y'all know. So I'm working on putting words on those as well. So I have something specific I want to put on there.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Those bonnets are really, really nice, you guys. And I mean, as soon as my daughter got hers, she started putting hers on, and it's really, really nice.
Thank you.
Yes. She has a ton of products. I hope you guys will take the time to travel over, not right this minute,
Right.
but travel on over to her website, www.perfect4medesigns.online, and see all that she has to offer. So one of the last thing I kind of would like to talk about is I met this woman of God through ATS Business University, right? We have a huge family, you guys. We have a huge family. So what I'd like to do is find out from you because we all have a bit of a different story. They're the same, but they're different, right? Because ATS has done different things for each and every one of us. But what has ATS been for you?
You know what? ATS has helped me to shift my thinking. When I was sharing with you earlier how I know I'm gifted and I have all this stuff, but the revenue, the financial part was not there. And so it began to help me to shift my mind on another level of business and another level of excellence in business. And then that administrative part, you have to, until you are a certain level, guess what? You are the administrator, you are your PR person, you are all of those things until that flow is happening. But what I really, really love is the network. I've met so many awesome women and men with ATS. It's just been phenomenal, and we are supporters of one another. So it's like a huge community. Like we say, we do group economics. So we support each other. Like you buy for me, I buy for you. You know, we all cover each other. So to me, it's like nobody is left behind and nobody is without. Yes. What I love is just not just talking about it, but being about it. You know, giving not only just giving the keys and tools, but actually teaching us how to use the keys and tools. And then another thing that I really love is, you know, how someone will say, okay, well, tell me what's on your mind. Okay, well, tell me what you're doing. It's like, okay, that sounds good. Okay, all right. Well, you on track. Well, you might need to tweak a couple of things, and then they leave it right there. But they don't tell you how to get from A to B or A to Z. And so what I appreciate is when we're able to ask questions, we don't get this fluff. You know, we get it's a direct answer, and it's an answer that's going to bring about change. And we're going to see something happen in our business, or we're going to see something happen in ourselves, or we're going to see something happen in relationships. So I have truly enjoyed meeting different people that are entrepreneurs, and I've enjoyed everybody's story, our journeys. And one other thing, a lot of things that was, you know, that's been birthing me spiritually. Now I'm able to tap into another level of entrepreneurship where like some things you don't know. And you're like, oh, that's what that is, such as a funnel. I didn't know. I was like, these people been using these funnels on me all this time. You know that. Now I'm like, oh, so how do you do it? And that was something I was very interested in. And so we are being taught how to use a funnel. We're being taught that, yes, I have several books, but it ain't just the book, baby. You got to add something else to it. You know, because the book not going to sell by itself, but your book is a tool. You know, you can use your book, you can use an ebook as a free product, or use your book as your teaching tool for for the thing that you're building, whatever class or challenge, whatever it is. So it's teaching us how to use everything, but use it wisely.
Yeah.
So we're not all over the place, and we are making money in our sleep.
Yes, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I've just, it's really amazing. I've just met I have met world-class people in the ATS business. I mean, that's really there's no other way to put it. People that are committed to living the best version of themselves. They're committed to that.
Yes.
Like they're bound. It's like a bond that they are committed to living, the best version of themselves. And so just being around that kind of energy, it just really inspires me. Mm-hmm. And I learn from you guys every day, right? Because maybe the way I'm thinking about something is, and I think it's okay. But then I get on, I'll start listening to you guys. I'll be like, oh no, girlfriend, you need to come up. It's like, oh no, you need to come up. Right. So it's a way to help pull out of me the best version of myself, right? Yes. You know what I mean? Because it's being with you guys and interacting with you guys. It helps me to be that person that I'm always seeking to want to be anyway, right? That's always there.
Right.
But it really does. It helps me to elevate my thinking. Yes. Yes. And I don't think that we ever get too old for that. Like, I'm probably older than most everybody on there. Mm-hmm. I'm Dr. Sugar almost, right? I'm 57. Mm-hmm. So, but I still am interested in learning more, and I want to know more, and I want to be the best version of myself. And I love it how I get inspired by, like you said, everybody's stories and the way people interact with each other is what really gets me. And I mean, a lot of times, I do talk about the business aspect with individuals when I'm talking to them about ATS, but I always fall back. That's where I fall back. I fall back right there in that space, right? Because again, I believe a lot of times people are not advancing in business, not because they need resources. They just need to be a better version of themselves.
Right.
They need deliverance from fear. Right. They need to stop feeding themselves trash, because that's all you're going to manifest.
Right.
And so being in this type of an environment just encourages me all the more so to be like, girl, come on now. Come on. You got it. You got it. You got it. And just be inspired by everyone else, to me, is just beautiful.
Right. And, even, in business and as an entrepreneur, sometimes you have those down days. And what I can appreciate is when I have that moment, or, maybe this ain't it. But then I can get on a call, or somebody might just inbox me and just start talking about business. And it's like, oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna do that right there. Oh yeah, that makes sense. And just get my adrenaline going again. And I'm like, okay, let me get back on this thing, to where the business doesn't die, or I don't delay in a deadline. And I know one thing, helping us to, when you were talking, I was thinking about how ATS helps us to remove the clutter.
Yeah.
And make it make sense. So, you got all these Crayolas in your Crayola box. You done dumped them all out. And it's like, but I need blues. I need reds. You need specific colors, but you got to dig through all these colors, and you think it's blue, but really it's green. So with ATS, it helps us to say, okay, here's my blues. Here's my yellows. Here's my red. And I can just go in and get what I need. And it ends being a time saver as well. Absolutely. Because now you got order and you're not all over the place, right. And it's almost like a file cabinet. You can go in and say, oh, okay, funnels. Oh, okay. What was this? Speaking. Oh, okay. broadcasting. Okay, podcasting. So it's like you got these files that you can go in and
Yes. Corinne says, yes, our connections fuel our fire. Yes, they do. And then the group economics is crazy, right? It's absolutely nuts. Whenever usually what happens is when someone purchases from me, someone that's in ATS that purchases from me, I make sure that if not, well, of course, you know me, I'm a tither, so I'm gonna tithe, I'm gonna give off of what you know what I'm saying? And, you have your certain expenses, but the profits off of what I make, then, okay, I'm looking to spend that back in ATS. I've purchased oils from Vanessa. I purchased some things from you, Tanya. I've done some things with Chiquita when she had her thing a couple months ago. I can't even remember everything, but I try to make sure that money circulates back within the community. Again, we all are looking out for each other. I reached out to Jeanette today because I saw her podcast. How can I purchase some of your masks? I want to know how to purchase some of her masks because, again, I want to keep that money circulating within the community.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's a very strong commitment of mine because most of all, I'm appreciative, right, that anyone would purchase from me. Like, I really appreciate it. And I feel like the best thing I can do is to be able to give back and allow that money to circulate within the community. And that is so important. Just think about it. If we did that in our own communities, if we did that in the African American community, if that money would circulate 18 times before it leaves our community, my God, what will we be able to do? And the great thing is, in this network, and with the network now, usually when I need stuff, like I go find out who's doing what.
Exactly. And so I'm supporting Miss Tanya, my bling, my earrings, my ring, my necklace. This is Miss Tanya, y'all. If y'all need some bling and some beautiful jewelry, I was like, oh, I see that green, honey. That's mine. So she sent this to me. So I'm rocking Miss Tanya's jewelry on tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just bought something from her today, but I bought a couple of things from her last week, so I just think that I really love the energy in the group. The energy that's in the group is it's world class. It really is. And what makes it world class is that it's genuine.
Right.
It's not fake.
Right.
It's not fraud. It is real, genuine love and caring. What best way to show who Christ is than to love on others?
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, you can't fake that at all.
Right. Because we've had conversations on our calls that we have in the mornings, and some of the conversations have been up there, and we have had to pretty much minister to someone or help them to see, hold on, look at it this way, or bring them back around into some realization that they did not see, and they were not discounted. There was nobody being cussed out, because sometimes it's gotten really deep, really heavy conversation. But I can say nobody's cussed nobody out and say, you know what, after this, I'm going to find out where you live, blah, 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 blah. And you'll hear that on business calls, to where somebody is correcting someone or saying, wait. But what I have noticed is I may have something going on, and it's like 5 of y'all will tag me. It'd be like, okay, can I say something? Can I say something? Can I say something? And it's never to the point of you're tearing me down. But it's like, well, if you look at it this way, or I understand how you could see that, or I understand what you're going through, or sometimes y'all just saying, you know what? I just want to salute you. You know, you're just phenomenal. Wow, you went through that. So I've heard that a lot. and I think, or I know that it gives life. So I see
it does.
life being poured into each other on every different walk of life, because we've all had a journey, right?
Yeah.
And we've all had some bittersweet moments to where there may be a crowd where maybe some people, they can't talk to their family, but they can come on here and they can be strengthened and built up
built up
forward, you know. So
yeah,
I think every area kind of, touched, if I can say that.
Absolutely, because you know what? People may not think so, but that's a part of business. Listen, the thing that I've learned about being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, is that you have to learn to grow up in that business. You grow up in there. So what am I saying? Things that used to hide when you were not in business, they can't hide anymore when you're in business.
Right.
Just like I tell people, marriage does not solve your problems.
Right.
It's only going to magnify your issues.
Exactly.
So with me, business magnified my issues. I had to deal with the shyness. I've had to deal with, now I had gotten to a certain point, right? Because listen, people think I'm an extrovert. I really am not. I've just learned how to come out of my shell, but when I'm home, I'm in my shell again. Right. And so I've had to learn how to come out of my shell. And I did that during ministry, right? I would, I'd do ministry, I would minister, I Bible study, or at work presentation. Okay, I had gotten to that point. Now for me, the whole issue is this arena, right? It's a different arena.
Right.
It's necessary for my business.
Mm-hmm.
And so that means that I'm coming out of my shell even the more so.
Right. Yeah.
And you can never be too old. You guys, you can never be too old to learn something new, learn something different. Right. I'm telling you, a lot of people my age, they thinking about retirement and all that stuff. And I feel like I'm just cranking up, right?
Yes.
We grow up in our business. Yes. That means there are things that were strongholds that have to come down in order for us to get to the next level. We have to change the way we think and how we see people. We could hide that when we were, not in business, but now you're going to now you have to deal with all kinds of people. Okay, now how do you really see people? You can't hide behind those things anymore. It becomes apparent, where you are and how you think.
Right. And you said we got to deal with the people, but you know what? I said we got to deal with ourselves. Because
absolutely.
It wouldn't bother us if we didn't have an issue with ourselves.
With ourselves.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I think as we get free, more, each level, we're breaking fear. It's always another level, and you're always breaking fear. You're breaking something. You're overcoming something. So this was a whole nother level. Us being on, virtual, talking to people, getting comfortable with how you look and how you sound on a camera. If you're going to be dolled up or you're just going to be like chill. Today is chill. I got my hat on, no makeup, just a little lip gloss. That's it. We're not doing all that today. Then you have another moment. Okay, I'm going to do it all up. I'm feeling myself. This is how I'm going to do it. So either or, you need to be confident and come with it. Whether you it's your confidence. It's not about all the makeup and the glip and glam and all that. It's not about that, right? And then another thing I was thinking about, some people say, oh, baby, you 50? Oh, you 60? Oh, Lord, that's old. How your body feel? I tell people I'm so useful.
Very please.
I feel good.
Let me tell you.
Tell me I'm broke down. Oh, Lord.
That's right.
And when my body started talking, I said, body line up. Because
line up.
You're going to work all the way to 100 or more.
Right. Because you were designed to. You were designed to go on and on and on and on. Absolutely. So it is. It's great. Those things we grow. We grow in business. If we're really serious about it, we're going to grow in business, and we're going to learn how to overcome those barriers. I'm still growing up into live life, right? There are still areas that I have to still live like.
Yes.
And so I can't fake it.
Right.
Because people know people know when you're faking anyway. And why fake? If you ain't there, you ain't there yet. But then be willing to grow to it, right? Be willing to grow to it. Be willing to learn.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, we have had a great discussion on tonight. We could go on forever, I see. Yes. We can go on and on and on, so many subjects, but I really do. I'm going to say probably in the summertime, because I want to do something special for May going into June, which is because National Men's Month is, I think, not until November. But I want to do something special for the men for June. Yes. So I'll be having all men the whole month, right? And I'll be putting out different things and videos to encourage them and let them know that they are appreciated, right? We appreciate our brothers, and I want them to be able to know that. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably do a couple of clips. I may ask you to do maybe just to send me something real small, a real clip, about how much you appreciate, how you appreciate men. And I want to I want to do a compilation and put it all together and make a video out of it and just make it nice and wonderful, because again, I really want to do that, because yes, we do focus a lot on women, but we are right now, especially African American women are the largest group in terms of post-secondary education, gaining education. Like we do stuff, that's just who we are, right? We're built like that, but I definitely want to do something special for the men. So I'll be reaching back out to you probably for that as well. Yes. But I want to thank you so much for being on the show. This has been so awesome. And I didn't realize we live so close together, girl. We need to go to lunch and hang out or something.
Yes.
Okay.
Up the street and around the corner, honey. Yes.
Around the corner. Michelle Black lives in this area. Dr. Sugar lives not too far. Yes, now.
All right.
We got to do it. We got to do it for real. Well, thank you again for being on the show. Again, I'll have you on again because I want to really get into that whole education. I want to kind of devote like a whole month almost to just that, the healthy, because I know you're vegan, and just, getting into some of that kind of information to kind of, people toss things around, words around a lot, but do we really know what these things mean?
Right. Yeah.
And so I really so I'll be in contact with you for that. All right.
Awesome.
But thank you so much for being a guest on the show. You have a wonderful and excellent night, and I'll be talking to you soon.
Okay. Thank you for allowing me to be here with you. Good night.
Good night. Okay, everyone. I hope you really enjoyed this show. Thank you so much, Corinne. Thank you for all of your comments and for participating. Thank you so much. I saw an old coworker, Cammie, that was on. Thank you all for joining. Excuse me, this is just really bothering me right now. Okay, thank you, Corinne. Yes, Evangelist Sarafia Hall, she's the real deal. And so I want to thank you all for joining. Again, if you would like to connect with her, her website is www.perfectpreneur.com. the number 4, medesigns.online. You can also contact her if you're interested in her television show, Sarafia, at statuschangers.org. Thank you again for joining. I appreciate you all so much for being a part of the show. Have a great night, and I'll see you really, really soon. Good night, everybody.